Well guys, it's Crazy Cheap Chick, and in just a moment I'm going to turn the camera around. I'll show you what groceries I got this week. We'll talk a meal plan. Let me prepare you. I spent more than usual because I have company this week. And then I also have a genius travel hack that I want to share, and I'm going to tell you how I got started in YouTube. So stick around all the way to the end. I spent $119.14 on food today. That's pre-tax. Anyway, here's what I got. I'll start with what I paid full price and then go to sale and then go to clearance. So with the milk, I just got a half gallon. We just don't drink that much milk. $2.39. These little tomatoes were on sale actually, and I think they were about 95 cents because 65 cents for those. Got some broccoli. I try to eat cruciferous vegetables a couple of times a week because of the cancer-fighting properties they have, so broccoli. Love my lettuce, $3.49 for this. It was $3.99, but I had loaded a coupon, so a little bit came off. Full price, or this may have been on sale, but this is usually about the price of this homemade salsa. And I got some cottage cheese for $2. This Greek yogurt was 79 cents. I got 4 of those. These avocados were $4.99, but I had a coupon, so they rang up for $3.99. Then I got these slider buns for $2.49. Some bananas. All of these bananas were 95 cents. These olives were $4.59, but I had a $1 off coupon, so they were $3.59. It was out of dill pickles, so I had to buy these for $2.69. Went ahead and picked up a package of butter because it was on sale this week, $3.99. Then I got this ham for $8.99. These hoagie rolls were $3.48. I think I actually had a coupon. I think they had been $3.99 or something. And now I'm going to get into the sale stuff. The biggest thing they had on sale this week that I wanted to stock up on was this cheese. It was $1.79. You could buy up to 5. So I got 5 different kinds of cheese. This is going to last us quite a while. And they had these Mission flour tortillas for buy one, get one free, and they were $2.99. Pretty good deal. Ended up being, $1.50 each, basically. Berries were on sale this week, and I had a coupon. So the blackberries were $1.88, but the raspberries rang up for $1.08. They had this granola on sale. You could buy up to 5 of them. They were $2.49. They're normally $4.99, and I got 3 of them. Rice was on sale for $1.69. I got the Spanish rice and some cilantro lime. And the potatoes were on sale. So they were $1.99 for 5 pounds of russet potatoes. So I went ahead and got 3 packages. Now that's going to last me a month and a half probably. That's a lot of potatoes. And everything else I got is clearance. I got these flowers. I love when you can get some clearance flowers in winter and kind of cheer yourself up. Each package was $1.80. Then I got this cereal, $2.90. It was normally $4.99. And I got 3 packages of these fresh gourmet croutons. Each one was 71 cents, and they're all a different flavor. I don't know what these normally are. I think they're around $1.99 though. Then I found 2 clearance yogurts for 72 cents, slightly less than the regular price of the store brand. A little bit of honey for $2.62. It said this had been, look at that, $7.49 for this much honey. I normally go down to my neighbor who has a honey business and get my honey from him, but I've just been too lazy to walk down there and get it. So pretty soon I'm going to go get me a whole bunch of honey. Then I found this Kentucky kernel seasoned flour. 2 packages for $1.80. And some meat. Stuffed pork chops for $6.11. Now they had the 80% hamburger for $3.99, but I was willing to spend $5.42 to have the leaner hamburger. And hamburger is just really super high here. I don't know why. Then some more ham, honey, uncured ham, $1.68. This mac and cheese for 35 cents. Cauliflower added to the pasta. That won't bother me at all. I like to make my own dressings, but this was marked down to $2.75, and it had been really expensive. I don't know, can't remember, like $6.99. Thai dressing. I just thought it sounded kind of good, and it was fairly low calorie. And I got some half and half for $3.24. This is normally $5.49. And then I found all these napkins. I got 8 of them for 31 cents. They had been 90 cents. They actually had napkins on sale this week. Could buy 80 for $1.99, but you had to buy, it's that whole game of buy 5, save $1 each, and you have to keep track of it. And I get so tired of it. I think there's about 20 in each of these packages. So this is about the same price, even though they're slightly smaller, they're prettier. I don't even like buying napkins. I like using reusable cloths when it's just John Wayne and I. What are we going to eat this week? We're not big breakfast eaters, but when we do eat breakfast, it's usually cereal with some fruit on it. And I've also got those bananas. Or yogurt with some of this granola. I thought that would be a decent breakfast. Then one night, I think I will make sliders. So I've got hamburger, and I've got pickles, and I've got the tomatoes, and I've got sliced cheese, and I thought I could pair that with this mac and cheese and some cottage cheese. And then one night, I thought we would have quesadillas with, I've got plenty of cheese, I've got green peppers and onions already. I could make some guac to go with it, and I would have this salsa, and I think I would put some rice with that. But then I've got so many tortillas and so much cheese and green pepper and onion, I might as well make some burritos this week. Then I could have fried potatoes and ham. Man, that's such a memory from my childhood. We used to eat that quite a bit, and I still like it. So fried potatoes and ham will probably be on the menu. Also, I may just have a potato bar one night. Baked potatoes with diced ham and cheese and sour cream, all the fixins. Then I know we are going to have these stuffed pork chops and broccoli, and I've got some sweet potatoes I need to use up, so we're probably going to have a sweet potato with that. And then I thought I would make some Subway-style sandwiches with ham and lettuce and tomato and green pepper and onion, just like a Subway sandwich, and probably make some soup to go with that. And so this stuff is just for the prepper pantry. Our lunches are always leftovers or salad. Well, Mom and I ran over to Sprouts this afternoon, and I spent $31.76. I don't live near a Sprouts. It's like half an hour away, but Mom wanted to go over there and get a few snacks. She's staying with me while her house is being remodeled. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I got. And that $31.76 brings me up to about $150 for the week. And before anyone freaks out that I'm not being frugal enough, please remember that $150 is for 3 adults because Mom usually eats dinner over here. So anyway, here's what I got. I got this pico for $1.99. And I got this watermelon for $2.99. Now this, they called Mexican gray squash. It was only 61 cents. I have that for dinner tonight. It had some jicama sticks. Am I the only one that loves jicama? I do love this stuff. And my very favorite pomegranate, $1.99 for this big container. Now, this is what ramped up my bill as I bought these Kamachi pickles, because since I'm on an antibiotic for a couple of weeks, I really need to add in some probiotics. And I looked at the probiotic pills and I thought, I'd rather just eat it than take a pill. And so I've been trying to get more probiotics in my diet through yogurt, through these pickles. I also bought this there. I just wanted to try one. This was $2. Organic kombucha, watermelon hibiscus. Can't say I loved it, but I was able to choke the whole thing down. Raving endorsement, right? But the thing I went there for that I really wanted to go for was these pumpkin seeds. And this much pumpkin seeds, this was about 3/4 of a pound, was $4.75. And the reason I wanted them is I think pumpkin seeds are the highest food source of protein. And I'm also trying to up my protein. Just 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds has got a tremendous amount of protein in it. And then I also went ahead and got a few hemp seeds. They're also really high in protein. Then they had this manager special on carrots, 99 cents for a bag. That's pretty cheap for carrots. And then they had these on closeout, so I just went ahead and picked them up. This is fajita seasoning, and they were marked down to 50 cents. And, you know, if you buy a package of fajita seasoning, it's like $1.79, $1.99. Now, I normally mix up my own spices, and I don't buy those little packages of seasoning mix, hardly ever. I make my own. But this was so cheap, I'm not sure I could buy the spices for 50 cents. So I went ahead and got all of these, 6 of them. And then they also had some rosemary for 50 cents. And that's really cheap for rosemary. Rosemary is one of those spices that's getting pretty outrageous. Anyway, that's what I spent my money on. So Mom and I just went to Sprouts, and I bought this Sprouts Organic Kombucha. How do you say that, Mom? Kombucha or kombucha?
Kombucha, I think.
Watermelon hibiscus. So I'm trying to up my probiotics. Okay, first I smelled it, and it smells exactly like beer, and I hate beer. I can't say I love it, but it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah. Is it got a probiotic in it?
Yeah, it's got probiotics in it. You want to try it?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So you like it?
That's a hard no for me.
That's a hard no for Mom. Well, guys, I spent a little bit more on groceries than I normally do this week, but there was a reason why. My mom is staying here while her house is being remodeled, and so there's 3 adults instead of 2 this week. And also my grandkids are going to be here a couple of days as well. But, you know, honestly, I don't think $50 a week per adult is that bad. But there will be some who will leave me a comment and tell me how I'm just not frugal at all. One thing I wanted to cover on this video was how to save money on travel. Now, the way that John Wayne and I generally do it is we use our travel trailer. It's paid for, and it's way cheaper to pull that thing around and stay in a state park and cook our meals there at the trailer than it is to stay in an Airbnb or a motel and eat out. So it just doesn't cost us that much to travel. Now this summer, we are going to Great Britain. We're gonna go to London, and we're gonna go on up to Glasgow and look around a little bit. And the way that I'm paying for that travel is credit card points. I play that game. And we never carry a balance on a credit card, because if you carry a balance, it's just not going to save you any money. But I put everything on the credit card, and I've just accumulated enough points now to pay for the airline tickets over there. So it really won't cost me that much more than a traditional vacation would, staying at a motel and eating out. And we don't travel like that very often. But when we do, I really have learned to work those credit card points. And it's a game. It really is a game, guys. It's figuring out what their promotions are. Oh, this month it's going to be 4 times points on grocery stores. Oh, this month it's 5 times points on big box store. Whatever their promotion is. It's just working with whatever the promotion is per cards. Because I have more than one card, and then you have to combine the points. I mean, it is a game, and it's kind of a hard game. But it works. You can save a lot of money doing that. But I heard this genius tip that I want to share with you. Now, those of you who've been watching my channel for a while know that John Wayne and I went down to Georgia and did disaster relief after that horrible hurricane. Well, while we were down there, I met a lady about my age And we get talking about, what we talk about, inflation and trying to live on a fixed income and want to travel, but, it costs a lot of money. And she's like, well, I actually do okay on paying for my travel. I'm like, oh, well, what's your secret? She goes, well, I live in Florida and my house is paid for since I'm retirement age. My house is paid for. And when I travel, I just Airbnb my house. And she said, I make more money renting my house on Airbnb than it costs me to travel. And she said, I'm really traveling for free since I'm making money off my house. And since she lives in Florida, in a place that people want to go, then, she can command a pretty high price for her house, she said. And then she's traveling other places where maybe she's not paying as much for the Airbnb that she's staying in. And I thought, wow, that's kind of genius in a way. And I said, well, that sounds great. I said, but I'd be kind of afraid that people would steal my stuff or break it, or, people can be really hard on things. And she goes, I've been doing it about 4 years and I really haven't had any problems. But she did have like an area of her house that she could kind of close off that wasn't part of it. And she said, that's where I keep the stuff that I really want to make sure doesn't walk away. It's where I keep my clothes. And she said, a couple of things have disappeared. They weren't a big deal. And she said, I've had maybe 1 or 2 incidents where I was annoyed or things got broken. But she said that Airbnb or whoever she uses, VRBO, has a policy where like you can turn it in and then they'll reimburse you. And when you go to an Airbnb, you can rate it, and you rate the house and the people, and if it was true to how it was pictured, and if the people were easy to communicate with, all of that. She said, when you're renting on Airbnb, you rate the people who are staying at your place. And so she said, you can pretty much say, I will only take people with a pretty high rating. And first of all, I didn't know you got rated when you were staying at an Airbnb, and I didn't know people could reject you if you didn't have a high enough rating. And I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, that's how she's paying for her travel. She is just basically renting out her house to strangers while she's on the road, and not just paying for her travel, but making money. And then I talked to someone else down there, and since we were near Augusta, Georgia, I had said, hey, can I see that famous golf course? Are you able to go on? And they're like, oh, no, you can't get on that golf course. I've lived here my whole life. I've never been on that golf course. It's an exclusive membership, and you can't go on there without an invitation from a member, blah, blah, blah. And she said, but this is a whole different person, not the first person I was talking to. She said during the Augusta National, or whatever that really famous golf tournament is, she said people move out of their houses and rent their houses on Airbnb just for that, couple of weeks or however long that tournament lasts. And she said they're able to rent their houses for so much money that they can pay their mortgage all year round. And I'm like, really? And she's like, oh yeah, your house will bring, if you have a decent house, it'll bring a fortune during that tournament because there's not enough rental properties around here. I thought, man, that's crazy. And there's nothing in my area that's going to drive rents up. But there near Augusta, apparently people do it just for a couple of weeks a year and are able to make enough money to make their house payment all year long. Crazy. That's incredible. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting way to possibly pay for travel. And I have a really good friend who made her basement into an Airbnb, and she's doing fabulous at it. And it's really provided a retirement income for her. And she's like, yeah, I wasn't using that space anyway. Didn't take much money to kind of make it into a separate space with a separate entrance. It was already a walkout basement. And I think my friend said she uses something called Furnished Finders, or something that's geared towards nurses. Anyway, she said she usually rents it for like a month at a time and I never see them. And it's just great added income in retirement. She's like, I love it. I never see the people. Last week I posted a video and it did exceptionally well. I'm not going to say it went viral because it didn't, but it got way more views than I normally get. I normally average 1,000 to 2,000 views per video. And this one already has 22,000 views. I picked up about 500 subscribers, which is also incredible. Since I got so many new subscribers, I thought I might share with you how I started my channel, how it came about. Now, those who've been watching me a while, you know that my husband and I own an electrical contracting business. That's how we support ourselves. And as a result of owning a business, I had joined a local women's business group. And we met once a month, and there was usually a speaker. Well, one month the speaker was someone with a YouTube channel who's based here in Kansas. And she gave her little speech and talked about how she started her channel and how within a year she was making more money on YouTube than she was at her full-time job, and she was able to quit and just do YouTube. Well, I had never heard of her, but most of the women there knew who she was, and they were really kind of excited that she was our speaker. So when I got home, I pulled up her channel and I watched a couple of her videos, and I thought, wow, she's not even that good. I didn't even think she was that great. And it made me feel like, well, if people are willing to watch her videos, maybe I could make some videos. What would I want to make videos on? Well, the only thing that I feel like I'm really proficient at is being cheap. And so I started making videos. Now, my first videos were really, really bad. And it took me a while to kind of get it down and to get comfortable in front of the camera. And I had a lot of fear starting because, sometimes you look at other videos and you read the comments and there's some really nasty comments out there. And I'm like, do you think you could handle those negative comments? And I had actually asked the speaker about that. That was the one question I had for her, when she took questions from the audience. And I said, well, do you get a lot of trolls or people making really mean comments? And this was her answer to me or to the group. I don't know. I don't read the comments. And this is someone whose channel is getting thousands, if not millions of views. And she's like, I don't read the comments, so I don't know. She said in the beginning that she did, and the one thing that she noticed was that when people started fighting, like someone would say something mean, and then someone else would say something nice, like, leave her alone, I like her, blah, blah. And she said when they started fighting among themselves is when my videos started going viral. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what has happened to society? On this last video with 22,000 views, I got a couple of negative comments. And let me tell you, you've not been yelled at until you've been yelled at in German. Because I had to hit Google Translate to find out what it said, but someone telling me that I'm just not frugal at all. She said, negative comments don't hurt me, they help me, because every comment helps my algorithm. And she said, I'm laughing all the way to the bank. And it was interesting. Her presentation was interesting. Her story was interesting. And it kind of made me feel like, well, maybe I can do it. And so that's why I started. And then once I started, I just really enjoyed it. And even though I wasn't getting a ton of views or making a lot of money, I kept doing it just because I was having fun. And so if you're going to start a YouTube channel, do it for that reason. Do it to have fun. If you're new, I usually like to end my videos with something funny, something maybe that's happened to me, something that'll give you a chuckle, because life is hard. And laughing about what happens makes it just a little bit easier, right? So I told you my grandkids are here this weekend, and they brought their new puppy, and the puppy is real black, and he has real black eyes. He's super cute, and it's a boy. And so after my son and his wife had left, my grandson, who just turned 5, takes me aside, and he goes, Nana, I want to tell you something. I'm like, okay. And he goes, I know Mom and Dad say that Cole is a boy, but I looked and he doesn't have any balls. I really didn't know what to say to that. And here's the second thing that happened. For those of you who are new, a friend of mine nicknamed my husband John Wayne several years ago. Has nothing to do with his personality. It had everything to do with the way he walked, because he's had double knee replacement, but before those knees were replaced, he was real bow-legged and he walked like John Wayne. And so to this day, she still calls him John Wayne. And so that's what I call him on these videos. And that's how he got his nickname. Anyway, one of my friends, John Wayne accidentally called her. He butt dialed her, but he thought that he had stopped the call before it went through. And we were together, and immediately my phone rings, and it's my good friend. And she's like, oh, thank goodness you're okay. And I'm like, what? And she goes, well, John Wayne just called me. I figured it was a butt dial, but then I started thinking about it, and I said, maybe she's dead. I better call. So that's the age I've reached. That when my husband accidentally calls one of my friends, their first thing they jump to is that I'm in the hospital or dead. I hope you find some great bargains this week. I hope you learned a little something from this video. If you did, please give me a like, comment, share, or best yet, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. You can always unsubscribe if you decide you don't like me. But anyway, I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a few laughs. And most of all, I hope you get to spend some quality time with your family. And I'll talk to you soon. Yes, you are pretty adorable. You're so cute. So cute.